this guy looks good in the uniform, but I'll tell you, more importantly, he plays well, and they missed him. A great receiver, tore up his knee. He's on the mend, but he's be back strong next season. I know his quarterback's going to be thrilled to have him back. Jordy Nelson for the Packers. Jordy, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
We are good. Most importantly, how are you recovering health-wise? I hear that you are, at least what I read on internet and social media, you're ahead of schedule. How's your knee doing?
My knee's doing great. It's been a smooth process ever since we had the surgery done. No setbacks so far. Everything keeps moving forward, and so can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously the season had to be a disappointment for you personally because you didn't get to participate, but looking in totality of what went on throughout the year, it was some ups, there were some downs, there was some question mark, what's going on with the team, and obviously they missed you. When you assess 2015, what do you think about with this Packers team?
I think it's a team that fought through a lot. I think we had a lot of injuries, not very many like major injuries throughout the season, but a lot of little things that kept people playing at 100% or missing a game here or there, and just kept us out of rhythm. I think it's a team that dealt with a lot and really stuck with it. Kind of came together, and, galvanized each other, and played some good football and gave ourselves a chance to won one playoff game and gave ourselves a chance to win another one and make a run at it. And that's all you can ask for is to give yourself a shot, and we did that and just came up a little short.
So were you sitting on the couch when Aaron Rodgers, not once but twice, had two miraculous plays on four? Where were you watching that game?
I know, right?
I was in Arizona. I was on the sidelines.
Oh, you are? I didn't. Okay, you are on the sidelines because I didn't think all the injured players traveled.
I get special privileges sometimes, I guess.
Look at Jordy. Laying down the law. My bad.
Because you're the man. Jordy, it's one of those things when you looked at after you got hurt, and I think Aaron even said this, that the rhythm was off, the timing was off, and something was missing. Can you quantify that? Because it looked like that when we try to question what's wrong with the Packers. It felt like timing and rhythm was off. What was the genesis of that?
I don't know. I think hopefully it's something that does make a difference. I mean, when you lose, one of your best receivers on the team, it makes it everything kind of tweaks a little bit. And we had some younger guys playing. Obviously, James Jones came back and was gone for a year or so, and then came back. And so you just have to get back in that rhythm. Guys are running different roles, have to step up. So it's just a little different. And sometimes it takes time. Being the connection between a quarterback and receiver, it's a lot of chemistry, a lot of rhythm, and you just got to get that going. And sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want, and you can see that game to game sometimes.
And talking to Jordy Nelson for the Packers, wide receiver, with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Jordy, did you ever get the sense that Aaron Rodgers was getting frustrated?
I'm sure he was. I mean, when you're not playing to the ability that he's played before, when you have a 3-game losing streak, I think everyone would get frustrated. I don't think it affected his game, but what standard that he has set and that we have set here in Green Bay, we win a lot of games and we don't lose games back to back to back. And so at times this year we're in situations that we're not used to, which I think would frustrate anyone. So, but I think for the most part he handled it. He was able to move forward each week and try to go win another game. But it's going to take a toll on you whenever you lose a game. It's not fun.
Hey, Jordy, I'm curious, before you joined us when we come back from the break, we played a cut from your coach, McCarthy, who was very honest as he assessed the future of Eddie Lacy. And I'm curious because that's Mike's position. Listen, we see the same thing. He's got to lose a few pounds. Guys on the team, do they, I don't want to say lose a little respect for somebody like that, but your job is to stay in shape and to get in shape. And it seems like Eddie Lacy hasn't met those basic standards. Guys in the locker room feel the same way that Coach McCarthy does?
I don't know. I think that's something for Eddie to deal with. I'm not going to sit here and critique his body and what he's doing. So it's that's a personal thing, and we all know that your body is your job, and if you can't perform, you're not going to have a job. So at the end of the day, that's something he's going to have to look into and make sure he's able to perform the way we need him to perform to play and help win games.
Well, it's a personal thing, and I understand and I respect where you're coming from. You're not looking to bury a teammate, but, your job, if you're out there with 10 other guys and one guy's not pulling his weight, so to speak, that would bother me. I'm sure that would bother Tiki, right? You guys don't notice that? He looks really heavy. He does.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's probably not ideal, but again, it's something for him to take focus on and get it under control.
Jordy, before we ask you about some of these playoff games that are upcoming, your coach, Coach McCarthy, who we were just talking about, he said he's going to do the play calling himself. Is there a big difference if he or the coordinator is doing the play calling? And what's the import of him taking that back under his wing?
I don't know. I don't know how much of a difference it was not being out on the field with the different play callers, but I think it was more of just guy's execution, to be honest with you. It's a lot of the same plays. I think obviously Mike has a lot of experience calling plays, and but in Tom's aspect, if you don't ever get the opportunity to call plays, you're never going to get experience and learn from it. So it's one of those fine line things, and it's hard to in this business to wait on things. And Mike thought it was necessary for him to take it back, and we were successful at times, but again, in some games we weren't. So at the end of the day, guys got to take it on their own shoulders and understand that it's our execution more so than who's calling the plays.
All right, so we're talking. I'm sorry, T. Jordy Nelson, Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. Obviously, number one, you wish you were healthy. We wish you were healthy because we enjoy watching you do your thing. Certainly, it seems like every time you look up, Jordy's behind the third level. Somehow he's running by people and he's sitting in the end zone. Your team missed you, but your team's done. So there's 4 teams left. Top to bottom, Jordy, you're a student of the game. You know the league outside of what you guys have yourselves individually in Green Bay. Which of the 4 teams is the best on paper, do you think, remaining, roster-wise?
Roster-wise, I don't know. I mean, I'm not one to sit here and look at the depth of a roster or what they are because, to be honest with you, a lot of that doesn't matter. I mean, it's how they're going to play together. It's who's going to play their best football at the right time. So as we can tell through the draft and everything, guys always think they can draft the best guys and think they have the best roster, but it's how they perform on the field and how they perform under pressure. And so it's all going to come down to that. I think it's obviously they're the 4 better teams. They're 1 and 2 seeds in both conferences. They've been the top teams all year, and hopefully they're good games.
All right, let me ask you this. If the Cards and the Panthers both play their best game, who's winning?
That is tough. I don't know. It's because I don't know how that's even possible because if the Cardinals play their best game, that means they're going to be explosive on offense. But if the Panthers play their best game, that means they're not going to allow them to be explosive on offense. So
that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That is a good
I don't
answer
know.
right
I mean,
there.
so
yeah.
If for one team to play their best game, the other team's not going to. I mean,
yeah.
Technically, I guess.
Interesting answer. We've had Cam on the show. It's been a little while, but when we had him last time, it's amazing. You look at some of his wide receivers, Jordy, and when you're healthy, you're obviously one of the elite wideouts in the NFL. Nobody would say that about the guys that he throws the football to, with the exception of his tight end Olsen, who's phenomenal. Are you amazed that Cam is able to put up some of the numbers he has without the quote-unquote superstar wide receiver?
I think so. I mean, I don't know his numbers off the top of my head. I know he's had a great year. Right. And he's made some plays, and the guys have made plays with him. And, I mean, that's what I was going back with earlier. If you compared the receiver groups, you might not put Carolina's up there just based off of looking at them and name-wise, but they go out and make plays. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. They got chemistry down. They're making the most of their opportunities, and as a receiver, that's all you can do.
Jordy Nelson, Packers, Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Jordy, talking about the receiving crew that you would put up there, it would be the Arizona Cardinals. And I want give us your thoughts on Larry Fitzgerald, because I just looked at your age. I didn't realize you were 31 too. I felt you were much younger than that. But Larry is 36 or 37. What he's been able to do at this age is it's pretty fantastic and phenomenal. You actually obviously saw it firsthand because you were at the game. Can you explain how a guy like him has done it for so long, but still is so good, even at his advanced age? I hate to say that because he's still young, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, obviously it's a guy who's a pro, taking care of his body, and I mean God has gifted him with great athletic ability and great skills, but he hasn't wasted them. I think that's what we were talking about earlier, is someone who's taking care of his body, understands what he needs to do to be able to perform and help his team out. So it's incredible to watch. It gives some of us other guys hope that we can play that long. But he's a great athlete, great player, and great person as well.
Yeah, we know that you fall into all those categories as well, Jordy. And you're teaming up with Dove Men Plus Care to do a highlight reel, but non-traditional. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I've teamed up with Doveman Plus Care, and to show the real strength. Obviously, a lot of people see us on the field and think those are our highlights in life, is what we do on Sundays and Monday nights. But the true highlight reel is what we've put together is things I've done off the field with my family, with the school that my son goes to, going back home, working on the farm, and truly showing what real strength is. And that's caring for your family, caring for your community, giving back, and teaching my two boys, to me, what I want them to grow up to be, and that's being a great man and hopefully a husband and a father.